the devotee from yesterday who did kirtan, she told me she's coming today for singing. And,
is this the Bangladesh lady?
Bangladesh.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to look the phone if she's coming.
Okay, yeah.
We can do it then later. Yeah.
No problem, we fit it in.
Yeah.
Because the lecture will be on the theme of her song. So. Are we rolling? We're rolling. Okay. Welcome everybody here and in cyberspace. So,
if it is okay for you to present yourself a little bit before we start the lecture.
Yeah, it's not much to say.
How many years you have?
Well, excuse me? Camera's going, yeah. So,
Is it going?
Yes.
so I should be careful what I say.
Start link.
Maybe Krishna's arrangement. Okay, I am in this life. I'm Madhava Puri Das. Joined in the late 70s, 1970s in Krishna's Gorge, and we've been having some adventures in our spiritual trajectory. It's helping publishing books and running temples and restaurants and running farms until recently. And now we are facing old age and hopefully a good destination next life. Today's lecture is on a special topic. It's called the nature of Srimati Radharani. And this is a topic one has to be very careful about. You will understand later why. But I would just first make a brief introduction. Because obviously there has to be a supreme, absolute, and ultimate truth, a foundation upon which everything else is resting. And that truth is revealed through the process of bhakti, yoga. That absolute truth cannot be ascertained by the help of our material senses, because they're simply limited to this three-dimensional space and time world that we are living in. But the supreme absolute truth goes far away beyond this material world, transcendental reality. So the ultimate absolute truth is God, the Lord, or Krishna, has many names, and across the world, people are worshiping God in many ways. But who really knows what God is? Really, not many people knows what is God. In most of the religions throughout the whole world, there's emphasis on one or more of three important aspects of divinity or God. Quite often you can summarize these in philosophical terms. Most religions they see God as the Almighty, all powerful, the eternal God. And some also see God as the omniscient or all-knowing, all-conscious God. He knows the past, the present, and the future. But beyond a God who is almighty, the creator and destroyer of everything, and somebody who knows past, present, and future, there's another aspect which is all goodness of God, all blissful. the supreme well-wisher. Suridam Sarvabhutanam is called in the Bhagavad Gita. God wishes the best for all living beings. And this we can connect to the Vedic philosophy. You heard the Sat Chit Ananda. Sat is the eternal. The substance of everything. The Almighty, all-powerful. Then you have the Chit aspect, which is the omniscient, the all-knowing, the consciousness, the supreme existential consciousness. And then we have the Ananda, the bliss. Yeah. So there's the parallel. We can see that there's actually not a question really of many different religions. It's different religious paths that shared with the Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. All have their different flavor of the truth. And then you go to India and you find the full table of religion, and then you go beyond that. You have mostly the impersonal or void conception of God and God. So in Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, you see often God as a remote, awe-inspiring lawgiver, somebody that you have great respect, great fear for. You find that also in the Vedic religion, that one can worship God with great respect and even fear. And then in the further east philosophies and so-called religions, the impersonalist tradition, then the absolute is without form, without qualities, without relationships, and maybe even nothing at all, like in some Buddhist philosophy. There's just nothingness. You are nothing. God is nothing. Everything is nothing. So in most of these views, love is something that we can offer to God. Love and respect and worship. Not something really that He would experience Himself in a deep, reciprocal and personal way. He's He's receiving our worship like this. However, so far so good. But the holy scriptures of the Bhakti tradition goes much further than this. What do we find in the Bhagavad Purana, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, for example? Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is the original form of God. Not just the most powerful, not just the most knowledgeable. He's the most beautiful, and he's the most relational. He loves to have relationships with his devotees. Thank you. He's the embodiment of bliss. But he's also the very object of divine love, the source of all bliss. And most astonishing at all, Krishna is actually conquered by pure love. This is unheard of in any other tradition. Many religions are looking for mukti, moksha, liberation, samadhi, nirvana. Call it what you want. We should make an analogy. Srila Prabhupada often speaks about this world as a prison house. We make something wrong. We make a wrong choice, and we have been placed in this four prison walls, right? And you can stay there for many days, many years, many lifetimes actually. But if you behave nicely, if you have good conduct, you can be pardoned by the warden, by the chief of the prison. Can give you pardon. It's very popular nowadays in America to give pardon to criminals like that. But when you get pardoned, you can get your sentence shortened. Then one day you're free. You're liberated. You stand outside the prison walls. But have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm not in the prison anymore. But I don't have any path or any occupation that I can do. Then comes another thing in, that's the mercy. Mercy of Krishna, of God, and this pure devotee. Because not only by that mercy you can get free. If you are getting the mercy of the king, you get entrance to the palace. You can associate with the king. So this is the analogy that Prabhupada gives. Bhakti yoga is way beyond liberation. Because once in a liberated state, you have to figure out what to do. Because you're still a person. You still have desires. So if you don't find a good way to apply your desires, then you will go back into the prison again. Because then you can use your desire. Because I want to have enjoyment. My enjoyment. I want to enjoy my senses. And I want my wife to enjoy. I want my husband to enjoy. I want my children to enjoy. I want my city to enjoy. My country to enjoy. I want the whole planet to enjoy. So it's expanding and expanding. Ato griya kshetra sutta aptavita janasya mohoyam maham mameti. It's just me and mine. Me, my family, my nation, etc. It's just a question of egoistically enjoying the senses. Yeah? I want to have a good family life, so we can all enjoy, have a good time. But when you engage your desires in giving pleasure to God, to serve Krishna, to serve God, then that's the perfection. Because it doesn't matter how much you want to enjoy, how much enjoyment you want to bring to your family, or your grandfather, or brothers and sisters, whatever. You work hard every day. You work so hard. And then what do you get? A lot of trouble. Just like the donkey carrying the load. The Prabhupada gives the example. The donkey, or as he calls it, the ass is carrying a big load of washed clothes for the washerman. Like in India. They pack this poor donkey so much he can hardly get up. And then he moves slowly with this. It's not even his own clothes. It belongs to the washerman. So he's struggling and fighting and working. And then at the end of the day he's finished. What does he get? A morsel of grass. That's what he gets. Working hard like an ass to attain nothing more than grass. This is the situation when your desires are directed to your personal gratification or your extended gratification. So by directing your desires to service to God, service to Krishna, to his devotees, you get liberated from all this hard work. Because happiness will come, just like distress will come. You try to fight so much to get happiness, but you have a allotted amount that will be given to you, whether you struggle or work like an idiot, or if you don't do that. You will get your suffering, and you will get your suffering. You will get some bliss will be there. However, when you realize that you actually belong in the relationship with God, who is the ultimate source of all bliss, all ananda, and the reciprocation there is the fountainhead of all transcendental enjoyment beyond this material body and its senses. Then you learn life is perfect like this. No more struggle. Krishna provides even the birds and the beasts in the forest. They don't have to go and sit in some dusty office from 9 to 5 and working. They get the food, whatever they like. They get their shelter like this. So if you adopt the universal laws of religion or dharma, as we call it, in this world, then you can have your sentence shortened, and you will be free. But if you adopt the principles of Bhakti Yoga, you will get the mercy of Krishna, get free immediately, and be happy and engaged in devotional service. That is a big difference. Because then you engage on the platform of the soul, not on the platform of the body. So getting back to I'm still into the introduction here of the topic. So there are basically two ways of approaching God. The most common one is with respect and awe, veneration, and even fear in God. Like we said, one school in Malmö says, fear is the beginning. Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. So that's one way of looking at it. It's not so much fun to have a relationship with the person you're afraid of. Is it right? But basically, that's the basis of the Aishwarya. Aishwarya is a word coming from Ishvara, meaning God as the supreme controller. He's the controller and enjoyer of everything. He creates universes and he destroys universes like this. So that's the Aishwarya mood. You direct yourself as a passive, active servant. You submit yourself completely to the Lord. But then there is something else called Madhurya. Madhurya means sweetness. That's unique. Quite unique for the Bhakti Yoga. You find traces. In Christianity, sometimes the worshippers turn to Christ or Jesus as a friend. That's basically as close as you get. In Bhakti Yoga, God doesn't only become your friend. You can become His parent. He can become your child, and He can become your lover, romantic lover, very sweet, very intimate. And that takes some qualification. And you have to make yourself a good recipient of Krishna's mercy, because only through His mercy that you can develop this pure desire just loving God, selflessly loving God. So while in most traditions worship means fear and reverence and respect, in Vrindavan God is not feared, but He's loved as a child, as a friend, or as a romantic lover. Srila Prabhupada explained that this is who God really is in Vrindavan, in Raj. This is Madhurya, intimate sweetness. Then this fear and respect and worship at the distance actually becomes an obstacle. We need that obstacle sometimes because we don't know how to love Krishna properly. We have still misconceptions about it. We see parallel between spiritual love and materialistic love, materialistic sex life, and the utilization of one another, abuse, exploitation. Nothing to do with spiritual love. So this is a topic one has to approach very carefully. Prabhupada explains. I think in the introduction of Krishna book that the closest one can get this spiritual love is the love between a young boy and young girl. Infatuation. Very innocent, very lovely, but very intense. So the prema is similar, but then again, who is the supreme reservoir of this love? Now we come to something completely unique. Because in other religions, if they see God as a person, they see God as an old man, angry, with wrinkles, gray hair, maybe very condemning. Or like in Islam, everybody's afraid of God like that. And in Christianity, they see him as he also the father, the man, but they never see God as a woman. This strange, is it? In the Vedas, we learn that this is like yin and yang. God is inseparably both male and female. Radha Krishna. And we see in the altar here Krishna in yellow, Radha in blue. So Radha is the female counterpart, inseparable from Krishna. And she's the source of all devotional service, of all love, of all bliss. She's not a separate goddess. Not like we look at Durga or Lakshmi Dev or anything. No, Radha is Radha. She's the complete manifestation of Krishna's internal pleasure potency. That's called the Hladini Shakti. So when we speak about Satchit Ananda is from the Hladini Shakti, the bliss potency, and the personification of that is Radharani. She is the one in whom Krishna finds the greatest happiness himself. So this is the conclusion of introduction. We should prepare our heart when we talk about these things. Let's not try to understand Radharani intellectually. It's not possible. Let us instead approach her with folded hands as Krishna does. Right? Let us listen to the words of the saints who declare. And this is the song that this lady was supposed to chant for us today, the Summum Bonum. Radha is the treasure of Krishna. Krishna is the treasure of Radha. Life's greatest wealth is Radha and Krishna, my eternal shelter. With this mood, we shall now begin. From the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the beginning, the fifth verse, we learn Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Ladini Shakti Rasmad Ekat Mana Vapi Bhuvi Pura Deha Vedam Gatau Tau Chaitanya Kyam Prakatam Maduna Tvadvayam Chaikyam Aptam Radha Bhava Dyuti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Svarupam. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, previously they separated themselves. Now these two identities, transcendental identities, have again united in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I bow down to him who has manifested himself in the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. And then later in the other Leela, Krishna's Kaviraj says, Radha Krishna eka atma dui dehadhari, anyonye vilasa rasa ashvadana kari. Radha and Krishna are one and the same, but they have assumed two bodies. Thus they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. So Radha and Krishna are one soul in two forms, relishing divine love. Krishna is the potent, the source of all potency. Radha is the pleasure potency, the Ladini Shakti. Their unity is understood through the concept of Achintya Bheda Tattva. It means that it's inconceivable that they are one, but they are also separate. Just like we small spirit souls, are also one with Krishna, but also separate at the same time. Radha increases Krishna's bliss and embodies his highest happiness. And this is an interesting point. She is the medium through whom all devotion reaches Krishna. You can't serve Krishna directly. You serve Krishna through Srimati Radharani. And that's the whole thing that we learn. If you please Radha, if you want to assist her and her gopis in the service of Krishna, she will introduce you to Krishna. Said, hey Krishna, look at this wonderful devotee. He's doing so much nice service. Why don't you show your mercy to him? Then Krishna, yes, of course. I can't speak against you, my dear Radha. Yeah. So this is interesting. There's an anecdote. One of the founders in the early 1970s of Sweden, his name is Vegavan. He was traveling with Srila Prabhupada on an airplane. Once they purchased big nice Radha Krishna deities, these figures to put on the altar. And they were flying to Sydney, Australia, to put them in the temple. I spoke to Vegavan about this, and he kind of confirmed that yes, this was probably what happened. So they were sitting in the airplane, Vegavan and Srila Prabhupada, and then in the middle was Srimati Radharani. She had her own seat on the airplane. Krishna, he was traveling in a box in the luggage department below. So somebody was asking, how come you have Srimati Radharani up here? She has her own seat and everything. You know, enjoying the luxuries of sitting in the cabin. Well, Krishna's in the box in the luggage compartment. Doesn't make sense, does it? Prabhupada should have said, you know, we are worshippers of Radha. We are servants of Radha. We just worship Krishna because he happens to be her boyfriend. This is really sweet. So until you're entirely pure in your heart, you should not really deal with Krishna's way. A pure devotee can offer Krishna a banana. He peels the banana, throws it away, and gives the peels to Krishna, crying and embraces him. That a pure devotee can do. of pure love. But this is not how we should approach Srimati Radharani. We should approach her with folded hands and great respect. Understanding that if we perform nice service, she will introduce you to Krishna. Therefore, devotees seek the mercy of Radharani to be accepted by Krishna. He says that he who says that he's my servant, he's not my servant. But he who says he's a servant of my servant, he is my devotee, he's my servant. So you serve Radharani, you serve those who serve Radharani, like the six Goswamis, the great acharyas, the pure devotees. So Lord Chaitanya is Krishna in Radha's mood. Lord Chaitanya is not blue. He has the color of Radha. He's yellow. He's golden. So this internal potency manifests at Satchit Ananda with Radha as the bliss energy. Srila Rupa Goswami writes, Sarva Lakshmi Maya Sarva Kanti Samohini Para. She is the origin of all the goddesses of fortune and the supreme attractor. Even Lakshmi herself desires Radha's position. Radharani is known as Mahabhava Swarupini, the pure selfless love in its highest form. So because she's so confidential, she's not really mentioned in the Holy Scriptures. She's not mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, she's just mentioned indirectly as that gopi. It says that gopi, not by name, right? And there's a story from Rajasthan, from Jaipur, many years ago. They had the deities Radha Govinda. They were moved from Vrindavan to Jaipur. Then there were some local brahmanas that objected to Radha being worshipped beside Govinda. No, what is this? This is Govinda. Why do you worship Radha? They claimed that her name was not in the Shastra, not in the Holy Scriptures. Well, there was a great acharya by the name Sri Baladev Vidyabhushana, was the disciple of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, whose song we sing in the morning, Sang Saradhavana Lalita Loka. That's Vishwanath. Baladev defended the position of the Gaudiyas, bringing Radha Govinda by composing the Govinda Bhasya, which was the full Vedanta commentary. Because all the different traditions, the Sampradayas, the Sri, the Nimbarkacharya, the Rudra Sampradaya, there are four main Sampradayas. Rudra Sampradaya, yes. And then the Lakshmi Sampradaya, and they all have their own full commentary of the Vedanta Sutra, because explain how they interpret the Bhakti Shastras. But in our Sampradaya, the Gaudiya Madhava, Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, there's Lord Chaitanya, and he says, why do we need our own commentary? We already have Srimad Bhagavatam. So he wasn't very interested in having, but still, because they were challenging, actually challenging Vishwanath. He was very old, so his disciple were defending him. Just like Jiva Goswami were defending Rupa Goswami because he was accused to write too much about the what do you call this? The loving relation between Radha and Krishna's boyfriend and girlfriend, not as a married couple. So Jiva went out to defend Rupa Goswami said, yes, that's fine. They lived married happily ever thereafter, so leave me alone. But Jiva he said, no, you should defend this other. So anyway, Baladev, he wrote the Govinda Bhasya, and in the Govinda Bhasya, he composed this whole commentary and proved throughout Shastra that Radharani is Krishna's internal potency, and therefore she deserves all worship. She doesn't have a secondary position. On the contrary, strictly speaking, she has a superior position because she can conquer Krishna like that. So the king, when he heard that, he read that commentary, he decided, made a decree, Radha's name would always be spoken before Krishna's. Therefore, we say Shri Shri Radha Govinda, not Govinda Radha. And the main thing of this age of Kali is the recitation of the most powerful mantra for the deliverance of the mind and evoking pure love of God, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It consists of Hare, Krishna, and Rama. We can learn from Shastra that the name of Ram is 1,000 times more powerful than the name of Vishnu. Vishnu gives you liberation. You can be his servant or attain any of the other liberated states, even merge with him if you want. But the Vaishnavas really reject liberation. But Ayodhya is the abode of Lord Ram, Chandra. And there's so much love between Ram and the citizens of Ayodhya. So even though they worship him as the king of Ayodhya, Raja Ram, Sita Ram, it's borderline Madhurya, rasa, borderline sweetness. Because they have so much love for Ram, and Ram has so much love for the citizens. So therefore they say one name of Ram, and you always say Sita Ram, because Sita is Radharani. So that also comes before Ram. So 1,000 names of Vishnu, Narayan, whatever you call is one name of Ram. However, three names of Ram is one name of Krishna. It's more powerful. So you say Krishna, it's like saying Ram. And if you say Ram, it's like saying Vishnu. I can go on 1,000 times. So the Hare Krishna mantra, you have four times Ram. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, right? You have four times Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. But you have eight times Hare. Hare is the vocative form of Hara, which is a name of Srimati Radharani. And that means basically Hare Krishna means this is the Krishna of Hare. This is Radha's Krishna, basically. The Krishna of Radha. So you say Radha, Hare, eight times. So half the Hare Krishna mantra is Srimati Radharani. 25% is Ram, 25% is Krishna. So you can understand how extremely powerful Srimati Radharani is, right? So that was the Radha Krishna story of Jaipur. How come you always say Radha's name first? There is a song which this Bengali lady, hopefully if she comes, will sing for us. It's an 8-verse composition, sometimes called Krishnastakam or Yugalashtakam. Offers beautiful meditations of Radha Krishna's oneness. Radha is made of pure love for Krishna. Krishna is made of pure love for Radha. My greatest wealth is Radha and Krishna, my eternal shelter. Radha wears blue, Krishna wears yellow. My eternal shelter is Radha and Krishna. This song encapsulates the Bhakta's meditation. Radha and Krishna are one in heart, one in life, one in essence. So when you chant Hare Krishna, you see how it's intertwined. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Right? This is perfect meditation. That's why it's the most powerful mantra for this age to chant. Nasteva. There's no other way to purify your heart and awaken pure love of God. Srila Prabhupada said, do not jump into intimate leelas, because there are intimate leelas described in the Bhagavatam, the Rasa Leela, the interactions between Krishna and the gopis, and very sensitive matters. But there's a reason why before the 10th canto there are 9 others that one should read very carefully, gradually, starting with the first canto clearly describing the first and second verse that this is about the supreme absolute truth. It has nothing to do with fruitive activities or any mental speculation or something. And it's meant for the non-envious class of people. Those who have no envy for Krishna. Those who are not interested in fruity work, because that's what you get when you come to this world. You are covered by ignorance, you forget your spiritual identity, and you are diverted into fruity work, thinking that if I just work hard enough, I will get enjoyment. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is not for any of these people. This is what Bhagavatam calls Kaitava Dharma, cheating religion. You worship God, you get some material benefits. You get some wealth or beauty or fame or sense enjoyment or whatever. You pray to God for this, give me a Mercedes, give me a color TV, whatever. This is not that kind of religion. This is just like the old president used to say, I think it was Kennedy, who got shot. He said, don't ask what the country can do for you, ask what you can do for the country. That brings the highest perfection of life. So you have nine cantos like that in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then you have this big 10th canto explaining everything you need to know about Krishna and the gopis and Radha and the Leelas. But you should not jump into it, which was or maybe still is common in India. People they charge money. You come and sit for 7 days, and you hear about Rasa Leela, and you cry a little bit rolling on the ground, and then the reciter goes out smoking some bidi and taking pan. You know, this is not interesting. You need to be pure. You need to be a full recipient of Krishna's mercy to be able to grasp these very elevated topics, which is available nowhere else except in the Bhakti tradition. So we're very fortunate to have God reveal the greatest of mysteries about His own existence and His relationship with His devotees. Don't jump into intimate leelas. Serve nicely. And when we read the Shastra, we understand that there is one principle which is even more important than chanting Hare Krishna. And that is to associate with devotees. Associate with devotees, hear and chant together with pure Vaishnavas, hear the Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita. Because when there are devotees, especially when there are pure devotees, there is hearing and chanting. There is chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. There is service. Cooking for Krishna, relishing the prasadam, hearing, reading, decorating. So many things you do for the Lord. So this is the topmost principle. Whatever you do, never ever give up the association with devotees. Sometimes one can have troubles. We chant maybe a certain number of rounds every day. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Sometimes it's problematic. But still, the remedy for this is to keep on chanting and also to do it in the association with the Vaishnavas, with devotees. Serve the Vaishnavas, hear from the Vaishnavas, take their instructions. So in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare refers to Radharani, and by chanting with devotion, we gradually attract her mercy through the chanting. And if we serve sincerely and we approach Radha through Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the embodiment of her love, who is the most magnificent, most liberal incarnation that ever exists. Krishna, he sets some conditions. First you surrender, and then I will give you mercy, then I will give protection. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he doesn't care who you are. If you follow your temporary dharma as a man or a brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or a woman, or whatever you are, just take to this chanting of Hare Krishna, the holy name of the Lord. Even if you don't follow dharma, if you're like a modern version of Jaga and Madai, just doing mischief or criminal acts and crimes, hurting people, killing, he doesn't discriminate. Whoever you are, just take love of Godhead. This is Krishna with the sentiment and mood of Srimati Radharani. So the conclusion here, we don't try to understand Krishna and absolutely not Radha intellectually. We simply pray to serve her devotees. Oh Radharani, please let me serve you by serving those dear to you. Let me take shelter of you in life and in death. So this is today's topic. I also have the full translation of that song. I could finish by reading that to you. There's a repetition. It's a sweet song. Radha is made of pure love for Krishna, and Hare Krishna is made of pure love of Radha. Life's greatest wealth is Radha and Krishna, my eternal shelter. Radha is the treasure of Krishna, and Hare, the name of Krishna, is the treasure of Radha. Life's greatest wealth is Radha and Krishna, my eternal shelter. Radha pervades the life force of Krishna, and Hare pervades the life force of Radha. Life's greatest wealth is Radha and Krishna, my eternal shelter. And it goes on, I read it. Radha is totally melted with Krishna, and Hare is totally melted with Radha. Radha is situated in the body of Krishna, and Hare is situated in the body of Radha. Radha is fixed in the heart of Krishna, and Hare is fixed in the heart of Radha. Radha wears cloth of blue color, and Hare wears cloth of yellow color. Radha is the mistress of Vrindavan, and Krishna is the master of Vrindavan. Life's greatest wealth is Radha and Krishna, my eternal shelter. So, we can understand that Radha and Krishna is non-different from Lord Chaitanya. So the safe way, where you don't risk commit any transgressions or making offenses or taking things cheaply, is to approach Radha Krishna as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya is nobody else than Radha Krishna in one person. So I will finish there. Maybe someone has a comment or a question. I try to explain a little bit about it's meaningless to speak about Krishna without Radha. It's meaningless to speak about Radha without Krishna. So that's where we are. Okay? Any questions, comments, Prabhus, ladies?
No, I'm going to go home and chant Hare Krishna.
Yeah. If you listen to Srila Prabhupada, he does that. He says, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So think about Srimati Radharani when you chant Hare. Think about Krishna when you chant Krishna. And think about the lovely, sweet Lord Ramchandra when you chant Ram. Right? That's the perfection. And you will so quickly make spiritual advancement. You never know how it happened. You give up all bad habits and just lusty. You have your lusty desires to simply drink the nectar of Krishna Katha and His holy name. Yes, sir.
I still didn't get how Radha transformates to Hara or Hare.
Oh, she has very many. Krishna has unlimited names, and Radharani also has unlimited names. There is prayers where you can chant 1,000 names of Radha and stuff like that. So, Vrishabhanu Devi, Vrinda Devi. She has so many names. She's the daughter of King Vrishabhanu. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi is another. Radha Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanu Devi, Pranamami Hare Priya. So Hare Priya, she's the dearmost of Hari. So one of her names is Hara. Is one of Srimati Radharani's names. It also happens to be a name of Durga, Hara. But Durga is nothing else but a transformation of Srimati Radharani. You see, you can worship Lakshmi and Narayan. Many people in India, they very much worship Lakshmi and Ganesh because they want wealth, good business. You worship Lakshmi so you get money. So they would, yes, I want Lakshmi, but I don't want Narayan. But you see, because Lakshmi is a form of Srimati Radharani, she's not very happy when you disrespect her husband, Narayan. So when you try to worship Lakshmi without Narayan, Lakshmi transforms into Durga, or even more heavy, Kali, or Bhadra Kali. That's also. And Bhadra Kali is nobody you would like to meet a dark night in a back street somewhere, you know. That's really heavy. So you can see that this all comes down to the same form. Radha is the pure essence of unselfish love, but she's also the origin of all these other female forms of divinity, like Lakshmi Devis, and even the gopis, the manjaris and the sakis. They're also different forms of Srimati Radharani. It's very complex. We should not try to understand this intellectually, but ultimately she's even Kali and Bhadra Kali, but for a completely different purpose, like that. Yeah? So therefore Hara, it's not really like she transforms into Hara, she is Hara, because Hara is also the name of Srimati Radharani, like that. Radha Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radha Radha, you know, Sita Ram, Ram, Sita. Yeah. We shouldn't concoct mantras, but I'm just making a point here. Yes?
Thank you so much, Guru. I have two questions regarding this Radha and Krishna versus you were talking about before Bhagavad Gita, only Krishna worship is going on. Yeah, before that actually, in Goswami's temples, called either Govindev or Madan Mohan, whosoever is come, the one deities was only there. Later Radharani has been put aside. And so how was that time Gaudiya Vaishnava is worship, not worship Radharani?
Well, many things happened during, we all ultimately come from Madhvacharya, but then after Madhvacharya came some special devotees, and one, the devotee was Madhavendra Puri, or Madhava Puri, I've been named after him, Hare Krishna. He introduced, worship of Srimati Radharani, the Vipralamba Seva, service and separation, like this, very sweet. And then his disciple was Ishvara Puri, the spiritual master, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu proved that it doesn't matter, who you are, you're sannyasi or a brahmana or a shudra, even a chandala, whatever. You just take the holy name. So Mahaprabhu took his initiation from a Mayavad sannyasi, Kesha Bharati. Yeah? So it doesn't matter, this is forms. We're talking about two different kinds of sadhanas. The Vaidhi sadhana, which is, rules and regulations, and then you follow the Rupanuga sadhana when it's spontaneous. But you cannot imitate Rupanuga sadhana before your heart is pure. When your heart is pure, you already developed ruchi, taste. You have lust to serve Krishna. I just want to serve the devotees. I want to serve Srimati Radharani Krishna. Then you still continue do Vaidhi sadhana, but not with that framework. You do it just as an example, not because you need it. Your heart is already pure, but you chant mantras, you do your achman, you do it purely to set an example, like that. But your inner life is completely different. Huh? So that's the spontaneous thing. And that came more from the 6 Goswamis, also followers, the Damodar, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the great Vaishnavas who had a personal association with Radha Krishna and the former Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there is a second question also?
I had a question regarding if someone is worshipping Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra.
Excuse me?
Somebody is worshipping Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Sudarshan. There is no questions of Radharani. So how come things goes over there?
No, I mean, Subhadra is the sister of Krishna. Yeah, and Balaram is the brother. So they're all Vishnu Tattva forms. So Krishna is there This is a very special form. It's, how can I say, you know the story of the unfinished deity, you know. So one may say that this is not one of the original forms of Krishna, but he's very, very dear to the devotees. He's the Jagannath means the Lord of the universe. And he's very, very merciful. And one thing that he's always staying in one place, except when he changed temple every now and then. But Krishna is sometimes there and then it disappears, also for the gopis. But so there's this wonderful story about Gopakumar, card boy, written by Sanatana Goswami. It's called the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And he was so attracted to the Lord of the universe in Nilachala. He wanted to go there all the time. But his heart was with this deity in Braj. So he was torn between these. He went to all kinds of places, you know, went to the Satyaloka, Tapaloka, Mahaloka, you know, all these. And he discovered so many things there, but he was always torn in this transcendental schizophrenia between the Lord of the universe, Jagannath, and his Lord in Raj. Yeah. So we cannot really understand everything. It's a question of taste. So when your heart is pure, by that time you already developed a particular preference. I know one of my best friends is a woman in Copenhagen. She's such a sweet bhaktin of Rajaram, Raghunath. She loves Ram. Just like Mukunda, the devotee in Chaitanya Leela, he really tried hard to be a devotee of Krishna because he was pushed by Mahaprabhu. And finally said, Mahaprabhu, I can't do this. He was crying. I tried to be a devotee of Krishna, but I could only just remember Lord Ram, and he was crying. And Mahaprabhu embraced him and said, you are the perfect devotee. Murari. So he showed the example that you develop a certain taste for a certain form of the Lord when your heart is pure. And in that sense, no form is higher or lower than anybody else. You know, you want to worship Raghunath like Murari, then you go to Ayodhya. You do that. You want to worship Dwarkadish, you go to Dwarka. Worship Krishna with his queen in all his 16,108 castles, palaces. You want to worship Mathura Krishna, you go to Mathura. But then there are those people who settle with no less than Vrajanath, the Lord of Vraj, renowned, and they go there. And then you can't go anywhere else. So this is... Okay, you had another question?
I was just wondering what Mohini Shakti means.
Illusory energy. Yeah, but illusory works both as Yoga Maya and Mahamaya. So Mohini is, you remember the story when the Asuras were churning the milk ocean, and then they got this jar of nectar. So Mohini used her Shakti to bewilder the Asuras, so she snatched, but she wasn't really able to bewilder Rahu, he's an Asura. So he wanted to take the jar of nectar, so she just invoked her Vishnu Shakti and cut his head off because he wanted to steal the nectar. But Mohini is also Mahamaya. So Mohini covers the ignorant soul with moha, and Matsarya, Mada, Lobha, it all comes from the illusory energy of the Lord. You forget your spiritual identity, and then you, on top of that, get distracted in fruity work and think you have to work hard like an idiot to get money to be happy, like that. That's also the moha illusion coming.
Things she does.
Yeah, she's very. I wouldn't mess with Mohini Shakti. Absolutely not. This is tough. Yeah. So this is the, as I was talking, the Avarakshepa Klesha, the covering, and the Prakshepatmika Klesha, the distracting. There are two components of the illusory energy of the Lord, the Mahamaya, that attacks the living entity. So all of a sudden you sit here, who am I? Well, I'm this body, I'm Swedish, I'm man, I'm woman, I'm this father, I'm this daughter, I'm this, German, or, you're totally lost. And then what is my function to do? Yeah, I really have to work hard, endeavor to get, the fruits of my work so I can enjoy my senses and can give enjoyment to my family, my girlfriend or boyfriend, or this. or to my nature, my football team. Yes, Malmö FF, I serve your lotus feet, or whatever it is, political party. Extend your false ego. So the false ego comes directly from the illusory energy of the Lord. So if you get rid of the illusory energy, she will voluntarily abandon you if you chant Hare Krishna purely. Then she says, well, yeah, I really did my job well, so now I'm going to leave him alone. He's there, fine, yeah, so. Then she will disappear, and then you will see yourself, a spirit soul, full of knowledge, eternally, and bliss, and you will see the Lord like that. Yes, Parasya Shaktir Vividaya Shurati Svabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha and Mohini Shakti. Yes, many Shaktis. Parasya Shakti. Okay. Yes?
Can you please talk something on Rama? I didn't quite understand.
Oh, Lord Ram. He's a very special incarnation. Krishna is blue. Lord Ram is green. Mahaprabhu is yellow. He picks different colors. And Ram is he's a protector of Dharma, of universal law. So he's the king, and he, just like it's stated in the Holy Scripture that Dharma tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. It is the Lord God who gives the rules, just like he gave the 10 commandments to Moses in Christianity, and he gives through the Dharma Shastras, through our tradition. They're very similar. So incarnation of Dharma, the righteousness of a ruler, because when a country gets corrupt, it generally starts from the top. The politicians get corrupt and, just power hungry, like we see in the world today. They wage war. They don't care about the inhabitants. But Lord Ram was very different. He is the incarnation of Krishna, who is righteousness, Dharma personified. So he was ruling his kingdom very carefully, caring very much for the citizens, that they were following and that they had everything they needed, like this. So he has become the personification of Dharma, of righteousness, like this. And then it's the whole story that, he was forced to abandon his kingdom because of it's a long story. And then he spent like 13 years in exile, or was it 14? In exile. And then after that he came back and he had his kingdom back and everybody loved him. So Lord Ram is, one may say, a little bit in between worshipping Vishnu with great awe and reverence and respect at a distance, and worshipping your beloved ruler of your kingdom of Ayodhya. So many devotees, especially in India, Lord Ram is very, very popular. I would say in some areas there are much more Ram Bhaktas than there are Krishna Bhaktas, like that. Which is, if you're a Krishna Bhakta, you are a Ram Bhakta. And if you are a Ram Bhakta, you are a Krishna Bhakta. It's just different flavors, So one can have, for example, one can have a loving relationship with you as, a daughter, or as a mother, or as a girlfriend or a wife. Same energy, same love, but different flavors. Understand? So you love your father maybe, but you love him in a different way than you love your son or your husband. But love is the energy. Similarly, you have different forms of Krishna. So you express your love to Ram in this way. You express your love for Vishnu, Narayan, and for Krishna, one is for Govinda, Gopal, like that. But that comes after your heart is very pure, so you develop a preference for that particular form. In the beginning, we should just worship Lord Chaitanya and get rid of our contaminations, material desires. We should offer our food to Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya. We should sing and chant for them. And then very quickly, you will have a pure heart. And when the heart is pure, the Lord would like to come and sit there in your heart. Right? Okay?
And the combination Hare Rama.
Yeah. Well, now we're getting too analytical here. This is explained in Kali Santarana Upanishad. these names are being paired up because they're very, very powerful. You say Hare Krishna, there is Radha Krishna. You can't get more powerful than that. And also Hare Rama. These are names of God, they are non-different from God. So when you chant Hare Krishna and Rama, Hare, Radha, Krishna and Rama, actually dancing on your tongue. If you chant innocently with full attention, not mechanically, but really pay attention. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Prabhupada said that one should chant this mantra just like a small child who lost his parents in the forest, basically, or in a supermarket or whatever, you know. Hey, Mom, Dad, where are you? Where are you? I'm all alone. Please come save me. Where are you? This should be the mentality. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Please come save me. Radha Krishna, Ram, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, help me. I'm so useless. I'm so lost. Yeah? Okay.
Can you just demonstrate what the mechanical chanting looks like? I sometimes I sit at home and think maybe I'm doing this mechanically.
Well, anyone who drives a car knows what mechanical means. In the beginning, when you learn driving a car, you have to pay attention. What am I doing? Looking around and, you know, giving directions and brake and clutches and gas pedal. But as you drive with your spine, you say, we're an autopilot. So you can also do Hare Krishna mantra on autopilot. It means, you know, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna. That is very much mechanic. However, believe it or not, even if you do it mechanic, there is some little progress done. That's called namabhas. Abhas means a reflection or resemblance, like a shadow. But what we want to do is Shuddhanam, pure name, with full attention, when you put your whole heart and soul into it. And it takes some endeavor. You sit down and you try to create a sacred space in your home, switch off the phone or put it somewhere else, and just sit there, even if it's just one round. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. That's what you want to accomplish, because that has a great effect. Then there's also Nam Aparad. I shouldn't get into that too, but that's when you're really offensive to the holy name. One can do that too. That's explained in Nectar of Devotion. There are 10 offenses against the holy name. So at least strive for not so blatantly mechanical like I did. You can sit there, but the thoughts are wandering. You know, somebody says, maybe Prabhupada, somebody said that, it's like fishing. You throw it out like that, but then you have to pull it back in again. The mind goes, oh, what should I cook for lunch? And should I call this person? And Hare Krishna. So, but then try to pull it back, you know, like you go fishing. Come on, mind, sit here. Because another secret is that the mind is the most important ingredients. There's something called manasa japa. That's when you just sit and think Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Then you cannot deviate because you're engaging your mind. That's why it's called mantra. Mantra, mana means the mind, and tra means to protect and to liberate. So when you actually chant with your mind, not only the voice, that, then you're fully engaged. You can't deviate. But if you chant with your mouth and your vocal cords, the mind can go here and it can go there. Well, it's not so good, but it's still good, a little bit good. So you should have a conscious effort to really engage your mind. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So the mind should be in tune with the senses, the speaking sense and the hearing sense, and the mind. That is the king of the senses. Yeah? So that's the secret of successful chanting. Yeah? I think we've gone over time now, haven't we? Yes? You have a comment, Prabhu, maybe? No?
No.
Okay.
I just want to say how much we appreciate what you said. And for me it was a great reminder. Because sadhana is a wonderful thing. It's our saving grace, so to say, but yes, we should concentrate our mind, our heart on chanting.
This is our only shelter, really. I mean, we may be in a very complex and entangled situation with work and duties and family and all these things. But if we can simply take shelter of the holy name on a regular basis every day, that will save us. Nothing else of the other stuff will save us. They are called the fallible soldiers. Your wife will not save you. Your children will not save you. Your work will not save you. Your bank balance will not save you. Your position in the work will not save you. Death will come and take everything away, except Neha Bikramana Shusti Pratyuvayana Vidyate Svalpamapyasatarmasya Trayati Mahatobhajat. In this endeavor, in spiritual, in yoga, there is no loss. Because even if you lose your body, when you lose your body at death, you, the soul, will move on. And whatever you acquired spiritually is for eternal credit. It's your eternal asset. It will never be taken away from you. So if you chant only one round, you get a little bit closer to come back to Krishna, go back to Almighty than you were the minute before. This is the power of spiritual life. Nothing else matters, really. Yeah. Sir? Okay. Okay, I think we have a prominent guest here from Bangladesh. We'll chant Kirtan. Is that true? Yes? This Yugalashtakam? Very nice. This was the topic of my lecture, and I kind of prepared it. So now we're going to hear the real thing, the chanting. And it's also there if you want to look at the text while she's chanting. It's on the KK songs on the internet. Would you like to come here and sit and chant? Thank you. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So here's the microphone. And